You nominate someone, they don't give you the shits, or they're not nasty.
Oh, maybe if you didn't find them interesting. I suppose at this point...
No, she's interesting. She's got a beautiful soul.
Oh, no, I'm not saying I don't find her interesting. I'm just thinking maybe earlier on people designed the house they wanted to live in with interesting people, and then they start to get more competitive, and maybe they don't feel that they're competing against her.
I found her really nice, and I found her out there, but there's sometimes that she holds back, and that's the type she is. Like I said to her, Claire, you need to speak up a bit more. She said, well, I don't really want to do that. I just sort of let it go, like water off a duck's back.
But you called her a prude the other day. That didn't go down very well.
Do you think she got offended with that?
Well, she did momentarily, but I don't know why. I mean, there are worse things.
Like, prudish is not a bad thing.
No.
But I remember her saying that to me. Yeah, I'm prude, and it's good that we're like that.
Yeah, no, I think she's...
I wasn't
She might be tired or worried. You can't read, Claire, so maybe it's as simple as that.
Maybe she's got a bit affected by that? I'm not sure.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it now if I were you.
Well, we need to talk about it.
Yeah, look, OK, let's talk about it till the cows come home.
No,
I think she's absolutely fine, but you start to see this spacey look in some housemates' eyes when they don't have any information coming in. As you know, there are no movies or books or televisions, and the littlest piece of information resonates in their minds.
That's true too.
And that was a new piece of information, and she clung to it.
I've got to look to see whether she got upset. I'll have to apologise to her about that.
Well, you can't until she comes out. By that time, it'll be a mountain, heaven.
No.
Now, last week, Claire nominated Crystal for being preoccupied with the game and Camilla for getting too many fines. I have to say now, the fines are now at... There's $265,000 left. They started with $1 million. But in the process, Big Brother gave Claire a nomination point for not nominating correctly. That's last week. So now Claire's only ever received 7 nomination points, 1 from Big Brother, and she's the only one to have nominated all of the other original housemates at least once. So she goes for the scattergun approach. Let's see who she pings her nomination pong at this time.
Wow.
Claire, who do you nominate for 2 points for eviction and why?
For 2 points this week, I'm going to nominate Camilla. I've just seen a really false or fake side to her this week, and that was seen early in the week. She was quite distant and sort of argumentative towards me, and yesterday, and in particular today, she all of a sudden became my best friend, and I just felt a lot of her actions and a lot of her words were really ingenuine towards me. And I see that kind of as a form of lying, and really don't have much time for people who aren't genuine or aren't true.
Claire, you need to be specific. Give Big Brother an example when she was fake.
Well, yesterday and today in particular, she's been hugging me. She's never hugged me in the 11 weeks. And I just felt it was a desperate measure that she was taking to make up for the arguments and the distance we've had during the week just before nominations tonight.
Who do you nominate for 1 point for eviction and why?
For 1 point, I'm going to nominate Crystal. I just thought it was really disappointing, and I suppose to a certain degree disgusting as well, that she was the only housemate that wasn't able to give any sympathy or emotion towards David on Wednesday night. He brought up an issue, was quite emotional about something, and she was the only housemate that wasn't able to be there for him, and I found that that was a side to Crystal that I don't like, I don't approve of, and it's a personality trait that I don't want to have to live with in the house.
That is all.
Thank you.
OK, they were the same people nominated by Claire this week, but round the other way last week. Last week she did 2 for Crystal and 1 for Camilla. Look, that is somebody else who's suspecting that Camilla's being a bit fake. Crawling to people when it's nomination time. Do you think she is? I always thought she was honest and called a spade a spade.
I don't think so.
What do you think maybe they're just finding reasons to nominate?
Absolutely.
A little bit paranoid, or...?
Well, I think they're arguing during the week, so they're holding on to something because it's really hard. Nomination's really hard. And I think they're hanging on to that because, as they say, the game, they're involved in the game. They've got to nominate someone.
I think, too, there are some people who can have an argument with someone and they explode and then they're friends again.
Like me,
and some people hold on to it.
Yeah, I can do the same. I argued with Camilla 2 weeks ago, a week ago. I didn't nominate her because I sorted that out.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But
yeah, she nominated you. Well,
doesn't matter. That's okay because of the argument.
I don't know why.
We'll
have to go back, look at the material, discuss it later along with Claire. All right, let's have a look at the tally board. OK, where is this tally board? OK, Camilla is on 6. Darren is now on 3. David's on 3. Crystal's on 2. Claire is on 1. Remember, Darren has a 3-point twist. No Jamie there. Gee, only a few weeks ago, he was getting all the nomination points. Don't things change? Coming up, the thrill of Camilla as she confronts Big Brother the Gorilla. She's our final dominating nominator, and then Dangerous Darren, the holder of the 3-point twist of destiny, will deliver his verdict. It's time for our final nomination of the night from the girl who may become known as Mini P. Yes, it's the girl who reminds Perry of herself, doesn't she? It's Camilla. All right, it's time now for Camilla to serve the nomination roast. Last week she sliced Perry for being condescending and diced Darren for being cocky, competitive and overconfident. So let's cross to the diary room and see who she dishes up.
Camilla, who do you nominate for 2 points for eviction and why?
Big Brother, I'd like to nominate Darren for 2 points this week. There's a number of reasons why I want to nominate him. I find him cocky, arrogant and rude around the house, and just the way he conducts himself hasn't impressed me. But most of all, I have been very unimpressed with the way he does things and says things around the house and then seeks approval from other people to see if he's done the right thing. And it just shows that he has no conviction in what he's said or done. And he especially does this towards me, and it just doesn't impress me at all.
Camilla, you're not being clear. Give Big Brother an example.
It's difficult to give an example.
Then you'll need to.
Okay. Let me explain. It's just when he says and does things around the house, for example, hands out the chores. He then, apologises to people and seeks approval from people like myself. And I just think the reason why he's done that is for a specific reason, and he should just stick by it. And it shows no conviction when he sort of questions himself or seeks approval from others.
If you're nominating for personality, what are you saying about his? That
I don't think he has much conviction. And as I said before, I also don't like the way he's conducted himself around the house in terms of the fact that he's quite cocky, arrogant, and he's been blatantly rude on a number of occasions.
Who do you nominate for 1 point for eviction and why?
I'm going to nominate David for 1 point this week. David's one of my best friends around the house, but in the last couple of weeks he's changed a lot, and I don't really like the way he speaks to me. We've had a lot of arguments in the last couple of weeks, and I think this comes down to the fact that he's becoming extremely engrossed in the whole concept of the game, and he gets very upset about very small things. For example, I made a comment to him the other day to hurry up with the bread, and I didn't mean it with any disrespect, but he got so upset and stewed on it for about 5 hours and then brought it up with me later, and it turned into a massive argument. So I just think he's becoming a little bit too serious about the whole game, and he just needs to lighten up a little bit.
That is all.
Thanks.
I find that really odd when people say that someone is their really good friend
and
they nominate them. I mean, that's only the first time Camilla's ever nominated David, but David's nominated Camilla a couple of times. How can you do that? I'm not saying it's wrong, but how can you do that and say this person is your really good friend?
This is why tonight I could not have done that.
But you have to do it. You can't make your own rules in the Big Brother house.
It's the same reason, Gretel. I like him, but I'm nominating him.
Yeah, but those two refer to each other as the really close in the house, and they have since they first went in. I mean, it's not just a flippant thing of knowing people for a few weeks. Does anyone here understand that, or do you think it's a bit competitive? Or is it one of those things where you become really close friends with someone and then decide, oops,
against each other? Yeah, it's the game.
Who knows? But all may be revealed. We've got the 3-point twist coming up, but first let's look at the tally board. This is going to be a very interesting 3-point twist. At the moment, Camilla nominated with 6, Darren nominated with 5, and David nominated with 4. Then Crystal has 2, Claire has 1, and Jamie, of course, has absolutely none. Now, Darren, of course, has the 3 points, but who will he take them from? Big Brother is now going to make his first announcement to the house.
No, not. Is there another word? Nika? Is there a word called Nika?
No, but there's.
Be very, very careful.
This is Big Brother. the housemates up for eviction.